Welcome, everyone, to each and every one of you. Welcome to the Philadelphia Seventh-day Adventist Church So What session. So what is So What? So What session is an opportunity to review with the speaker who provided a message some greater clarity and understanding of key concepts or concepts that you may have outstanding questions about. So whether you're a young person, whether you're an older person, whether you're churched or unchurched, you've been a Christian all your life, or you've never set foot in a church, it doesn't matter. Bring your questions from the sermon that you heard. We want to delve and go deeper and provide a greater understanding. So it's your opportunity to provide any form of feedback with the speaker in a conversational style. Join us, each and every one of you.
Something is wrong. They don't communicate with each other. They could be sitting right here and the other one sitting there, and they will text to each other right there. Something is wrong. Some basic functional skills that have been a part of humanity from the beginning until now have broken down because of the use of technology. But with the disconnection comes increased anxiety and stress that's not relieved by social interaction, intimacy and connectedness, interrelatedness, and then what they become is hypersexual. They have hypersexuality to relieve the latent anxiety that comes from self-alienation and depersonalization. So in order to connect, they find themselves involved in high-risk behaviors. And they have no boundaries. The nature of the internet and virtual media is you can do things through the screen in the living room that you'll never do in front of somebody in live. But you somehow have this strange feeling that you're safe because you're in your private place and you're revealing things that you would never reveal under normal circumstances. We have a disorganization of the society, and it has its long-term consequences. And stress, anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, depersonalization are all symptoms of our contemporary world and some of its dysfunction.
Thank you, Dr. James, for your message today.
You're very welcome.
It was very insightful.
Yes, ma'am.
And hearing about the message of the Sabbath from a different light got me thinking and understanding that you have a medical background. One of the questions that I have, you spoke about the sanctity of the Sabbath, the sacrifice from our perspective, moving away from doing our own thing that we have been given the 6 days to do, work, play, school, etc. And you also spoke about the blessing that comes from the Sabbath scripturally. And my question is, medically speaking, is there any physical benefits and effects that we could experience when our bodies are taking on a different type of physical activity on the Sabbath? We're not doing the hard laboring. We're not exhausting ourselves mentally from a professional vantage point. Is there any benefit physically resting?
It's a good question. So medicine is called evidence-based. The best type of medicine. It's evidence-based. That means we have done research to show that an outcome of an intervention is reproducible, meaning that every time you do this, you can get this result in a 95% confidence interval.
Okay.
Well, has there been a study to show that there is a benefit at a physical level for resting every 7 days? I don't know of a study. There probably is one. I did hear of a study before where they had these people that were working every day and they didn't do very well over long haul. But they had another group of people that stopped once a week for a 24-hour period, and they seemed to be able to do much better over long haul. I heard about that study. I haven't looked at the study.
Okay.
And in medicine and science, you have to look at the study, its design, the size of the population, and then you look at the duration, the type of study. Statistics and analysis of studies is something that people make money out of. So I haven't looked at that study, and I can't critique it, so I can't speak that it as a source of authority. The source of authority for the validity of the Sabbath is found in the text. We feel that the Bible is a source of authority within and of itself. And that when God has spoken about something, that is the ultimate authority. Clearly, when he's given an instruction and a law, it's not a law of restriction, it's really a law of liberty and freedom. For example, thou shalt not covet. Why? Because the process of coveting reinforces the ego, has you outside of your centered space, missing on everything that God has placed inside of you by attaching yourself to things outside of yourself. It reinforces selfishness, it reinforces jealousy, it reinforces a sense of displacement, and you miss out on what God has done for you. So that's some of the benefits, spiritual benefits of thou shalt not covet. But there are many more that we don't know of. Thou shalt not kill, but that's pretty obvious. These are benefits. Thou shalt not steal. We can see that as a benefit to the community, the society. Have no other God before me. Why not? Because nobody can do you like Jesus. Huh?
Yes.
There is no God that would deliver you from Egypt. There's no God that could take you through the promised land. So God says, I don't want you to try anything else because it just don't work. So we can see that all of the laws are given as blessings. So hidden right in the middle, like a chiastic structure, there's remember the Sabbath. It was an important one. Now people don't like it. People resist it. And you have to ask why. They resist it because there is an intentional design for us to forget it. That the devil really knows that there's a blessing for us, but there's something else.
Okay.
There is a sign of your loyalty and allegiance to God.
Yes.
Remembering the Sabbath is taking up a position against all other gods.
Yes.
This is a sign of the God Jehovah that created the universe. And when you stand up and say, I'm submitting to his authority, other gods, other people, other systems want to resist you. Because now you have a connection to something that's non-negotiable and they cannot touch it. So the nature of people in spiritual warfare, everyone is looking for allegiance. Remember, everything is about worship. When you conquer a people, ultimately you want that person to submit to you and either worship you or worship your God. That's the nature of conquest.
Yes.
And when people have a God that's non-negotiable, that person, the enemy, the oppressor, wants to crush you. And so this is the dynamic that the Sabbath sets up. It is a resistance principle from other oppressive powers, and it keeps you connected to your Creator. And it's a sign of loyalty at the supernatural level between Lucifer and Michael. Here is a people that's choosing me, even if it means to their death. So the Sabbath is a lot deeper than just people say, well, am I keeping the Sabbath to be saved? No, it's nothing for to be saved. I keep it because I am saved.
Yes.
It's a symbol not of just that I'm saved. It's a symbol of how I'm saved, by resting. It's a symbol that points to who I'm saved by, Creator God that created the universe. It's a sign between me and who saved me. And so when you start seeing the intimacy and the connectedness that the Sabbath have, it has nothing to do with to be saved. It's nothing to do with an old covenant. It's everything to celebrate what Christ has done in the new covenant, having saved you by grace and grace alone, created you by God and God alone, and pointing to what he's about to do, which is take us home and we will rest with him in heaven and keep Sabbath there as well.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate the time.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate the summary and the reinforcing.
You're very welcome.
Continue to minister.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you.